I have always wished that I could have a writing schedule. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, welcome. And if you are a returning friend, hey guys, how you doing? How you been? How's the writing and reading going and all that jazz? So, by the title, you guys know what this video is about. It is about me trying to figure out a writing schedule. I have never, in the history of me grabbing a notebook and a pen and writing, have I ever had a writing schedule, ever. I literally would just sit down and write whenever the urge struck me. Even when I decided that this was a career that I wanted to pursue, I still did not have much of a schedule. At the time that I wrote TFS1 Power, I was not working at the time. I had just been let go from my job, and I had all this free time while I was looking for another job. And I wrote, but I didn't really write during the day. It was all late night writing, like being up until 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, just writing the story. So I guess in a way that was a schedule that I had because I had the free time to do that. I don't have the free time to do that anymore. And nowadays I am battling a lot of anxiety and depression. Like when I wrote my first book, I wrote my first book with stars in my eyes. I had all of these like expectations and all of these like goals, and I thought this was going to be like a bestseller, and I was going to put this book out and people were going to flock to it. They were going to read it, they were going to love it, I was going to have reviews, I was going to become a full-time writer off of this. And then that didn't happen, and then reality set in that this industry is a lot harder than it probably looks. So at that made me battle with my anxiety with actually writing and putting out books. So a lot of times I'm just like, I would prefer to read, which is sad to say because I love writing. I absolutely love writing. I love the art of storytelling, and I want to put these books out, but then I talk myself out of it. Well, I would just write whenever I wanted to or whenever the urge struck me. If it didn't strike me, then I would not write and I would read. I'm trying to change that. Let's try to get more structured. Let's try to get more on some type of a schedule. So today while I was at work, I started thinking about this. What could be my writing schedule? My hours are a little weird at work. So I am up by like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I am out of my apartment by 4:30. I am at work by 6:25. I am on break by 9:30. Unfortunately, I am unable to trek my way home like I would prefer. I have to stay at the terminal, and then I'm back on the clock at 2 o'clock. I'm off the clock at 5, and then I'm home. So in a perfect world, between that 9:30 and 2 o'clock time would be a good time to write and nap because I need my naps. So I would nap the first half and then write the second half. And then coming home would be maybe getting some more writing done and then being able to do what else I want. Well, that's not really working. I have tried lugging the laptop and keyboard and all that jazz to work with me, and it weighs my bag down, my work bag, it weighs it down, and I have come to the conclusion that until I find something more appropriate to carry to work with me, getting any writing done while at work is not gonna happen, just because I don't really fancy writing on my phone at the moment. I can, but at the moment I don't fancy. When my phone is in my hand, nowadays my mind goes to either being on YouTube or going to find a book to read. So writing, I'm not disciplined enough right now to just be like, no, let's write. And unfortunately, it's sad to say none of my stories are pulling me that much to be like, I have to write this. Yesterday, and I didn't record anything over the weekend, but yesterday I finished up edits and everything and formatting for my first romance, my first contemporary romance, and I uploaded it because I had ridiculously set it for pre-orders, which I'm going to talk about the pre-order thing at the end of the video instead of making a separate video about that. But I finished that, and I remember at the time that I was writing that story, it was my first experience writing a romance. I read a lot of romances. I have been stuck heavy in Romance Central for like the last couple of years. I haven't really been taking in a lot of paranormal stuff like I used to. It's been a lot of romance. And so I was just like, I want to give my hand at this. I want to try to write this. And I had this idea come to me, and it was fresh and it was new for me. It's not a new concept out there because I've actually read a couple books before and since then with the same theme, kind of a lot of the same points. So it's not necessarily a new, oh, nobody's ever done this before type of thing, but it had me so hooked that I would write every chance that I got. If I was at work and I had a little bit of downtime, my phone was like sneakily in my hand because in my mind, I would get like a character saying something or something would happen. I'll go, oh, I gotta write that. So I would write it really quick, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely love Google Docs. And I love to draft in Google Docs. But yeah, I would just do that really quick. As of right now, I'm not really feeling that with any of my stories. I do feel the urge to write them, but not to the point where they are consuming my mind 24/7 like that book did. But anyways, like I said, I want to write these stories, so I am trying to come up with some type of a schedule so that I can write all the stories that I want to work. I can work on all of my projects, but also give myself some downtime. So the downtime is, with my current job, I have my weekends free. This is probably the first job that I have ever had where I have had my weekends free. I've had a job in the past where I've had my Sundays free because the place was closed on Sundays. But I always had to work a Saturday, and I had like a day in the week that was off. But this is the first job where I completely have my weekends free. Unfortunately, what I did this last weekend and what I've been doing is trying to get author-related work done on the weekend as well. And it doesn't really feel like having my days off because I'm still doing something. I'm still like, oh no, I gotta get up and I gotta turn the laptop on and I gotta turn the keyboard on and I've gotta, so it doesn't feel like actually having days off. So I want to try to have my Saturday and Sunday free so that I can do whatever I want. If I wake up in the morning on Saturday and the first thing I want to do is grab my phone and finish reading a book that I started, I want to be able to do that without feeling guilty that I didn't get up and do what I was supposed to do. And that's what I experienced this last weekend. Saturday, I woke up, I had started reading a book, and I was so hooked on this book. And the whole time as I'm reading this book I am supposed to be going through edits right now. I'm supposed to be going through edits. I didn't go through edits Friday night like I was supposed to because I was tired. And I was like, I have the weekend. I'm supposed to be going through edits right now. And I just could not put the book down. So Sunday, I did some Saturday night, and then Sunday was just straight like, no doing anything else. We need to work on these edits. I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to just spend my weekends doing what I want and not feeling guilty about not doing any author-related work. I feel like I'm rambling, so let's move this along. So basically, I have decided to set myself a schedule. I wrote a story that was intended to be a short story, and it was kind of like piggybacking off of my first contemporary romance. However, my readers are like, where's the rest of the story? I'm like, it's a short story. They're like, no, we need the rest of the story. So I am a people pleaser. So I'm going to give them a full story. So Mondays are going to be for working on that story. I'm going to write one chapter. If there is anything else I have to do, like formatting, editing, anything like that I need to do on a Monday, I'll do that. But I'm giving myself a minimum of one chapter for that book. And it's going to be the same way for each day. Tuesday, we're going to switch projects. I know it's crazy. We're jumping around on projects. Yes, we are. But Tuesday, we are going to jump over to another contemporary romance that was supposed to be released after the short story that I started and didn't finish. And my readers are like, where's the story? So Tuesday, again, one chapter of that. If I have any other author-related work that needs to be done, it will be done after. Wednesday, I have a paranormal, how do I describe it? I have a LGBTQIA paranormal romance that I started and need to finish. So there will be one chapter of that is written. Again, with the process of any author-related work. Thursday will be devoted to TFS, and more importantly right now, TFS 5, because I did start that. I want to get that started and written, so when I'm ready, I can just put that out when we get to it. And then Friday is going to be my paranormal romance that is coming to an end. I've actually finished that story, but that story, I think I mentioned it in another video, that story is gonna have a sequel to it. It wasn't intended when I first started it to have a sequel, but because I don't plot and my stories take on a mind of their own, it now has a sequel to it. So that I need to start the sequel because I don't want to leave people hanging like, what's going on? I don't want to leave people hanging like I did with TFS. Because I put out book 1 and then I waited a couple years before book 2 came out, and then a couple years for book 3, and now, so I don't want to do the same with any of these other books. So if people are reading it, yes, people are reading these books before they are published out for the entire world. People are reading them. So I just kind of want to, sorry you guys, I talk with my hands. I noticed that I am doing it a lot in this video. I apologize, I talk with my hands. And if I keep looking around and closing my eyes, it's because I did not get my morning nap today. So I'm exhausted, but today is Monday, so I have work to do before I can relax. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, so I am gonna be working on the sequel to my first paranormal romance on Fridays. And that's if I am writing a chapter a day for each of these stories. None of these stories have a tentative release date. None of these stories have a date where I need to be like, I really need to hurry up and get this done and get this edited and get it covered. And none of these have that. They're just, I'm writing them, and when I'm ready to put them out, I will put them out. Mr. has the zoomies. I feel like there's so much going on in this video. I can never give you guys a video that doesn't have a ton going on. Anyways, so none of these have a release date that is coming up, so I don't have to worry about that. I can take my time to write these stories. I was gonna do the whole 3-month thing again like I did with TFS 4, but I just need to not put so much pressure on myself. So we're taking a step back. I'm gonna write a chapter a day for each of these stories. After that time, if there's anything else that I need to do, I will take care of that. And then that should leave me with my weekends free to just do what I want. And if I feel like being lazy that day and not doing anything and just watching YouTube all day, I should be able to do that. So that was a very long video for me to give you guys what my schedule is gonna be. I don't know how you guys put up with me. I don't know how, but I love you guys anyways. Before we close out this video, I want to talk about the pre-orders. So as I mentioned, I ridiculously set up a pre-order for my contemporary adult romance. I wasn't marketing it. Nobody knows. It's hard when nobody knows who you are to market it. I always try to post on social media. I barely get any engagement. So it's up for pre-order, but I have had no pre-orders. And that would make me go, don't do it again, because this is the second pre-order that I've done that has been, because I did it for TFS 3 and I had like 2 pre-orders for that. I have made a decision that I am going forward. Any book that I put up will be done on pre-order, even though I don't expect to actually have any books pre-ordered during that time. And I think I like to do that is because it gives me a deadline to have the book ready without getting down to the very last minute if that makes any sense. So for example, I had about a day and a few hours to have that book finished and uploaded onto KDP's site so that it could be it's ready for release day. And I did everything I could to get that done. Now, if I hadn't set it up for pre-order, I probably would still be like, yeah, I've got time. I've got time. And then the day would have came for release, October 26th. It would have came for release. I would have been scrambling. I would have gotten it done. And then it possibly could have gone up later because KDP gives you 72 hours for them to like make sure everything is good before it could possibly be ready for release. Now, sometimes it could be ready right away and sometimes it could be ready later. You never know. So if I'm like, oh, it's going to be ready October 26th, and then I wait until the last minute, and then something goes wrong, and then it's not out October 26th, it's out October 27th or October 28th, then I'm like, if I had finished it sooner, we wouldn't have this problem. So I think I'm going to still hold on to the pre-order idea just because I like the idea of having a date to finish it that's not actually the release date. And it probably makes no sense, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Anyways, you guys, I am gonna end this. And like I said, I'm tired, but I need to do some other stuff for my second adult contemporary romance. And that's it, I'm gonna go. It's Monday, so I've got work to do for, the acronym is AKOL. So I'm gonna go and do that. And I will talk to you guys in another video. Again, my name is Taquanda Taylor. I am the author of the paranormal drama series, The Five Sisters. The first 3 books are available on Amazon now. Book 4 is coming soon, and I'm currently working on book 5. I am also writing under 2 additional pen names, one for my contemporary work and another for my romances. And I think I might have shared them on here before, but now that my first book is coming out, I'm not sure if I want to share it anymore. So you might want to look at my other videos and see if I already shared what my pen name is. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you are not already subscribed. And leave me a comment below. And I will talk to you guys in next week's video. Bye.